Hello. In this video we will cover such topic as mail sender in Trados Business Manager. Alright, to start working with mail sender we have to configure email accounts in the system. So let's go to reference data and find email accounts. You can see that I have two personal accounts here, one for old ibex.com admin email address and another one some personal one. You can create a new email account by clicking here. I will just double click on existing account to demonstrate account creation form. First of all, we have is default account checkbox, which specifies which account will be used automatically by the system when email messages are created. Email messages can be created like manually when you click some button to create a message, and then default account will be used there. And also it can be used by notification system, which can send notifications automatically by email, and default account will be used by the system. If you accidentally will check few accounts as default, then it won't be a correct situation and the system will just pick up the first default email account found in the table, and from time to time it can be different one depending on how data is retrieved from database. So please check that you have only one default account. There is no automatic protection from having multiple default accounts. And in the account settings you can check sender name, specify email address, login, password, SMTP server, depending on the server which you use. SMTP server can be provided by in the documentation of your email service, or if you use your own server, then it depends on configuration of your server. And the same about port and requires SSL certificate. So for Gmail accounts we now have this limitation, and we need to follow this documentation to enable usage of Gmail accounts in TBM. Alright, when email accounts are configured, by the way, in some, currently it's not available, but in some next version we will have a button, additional button here to test connection to an email account, so take a note of this. Then we have few configuration settings in TBM about mail sender. We can go to settings and switch to the mail sender settings tab, and here we have a few parameters. First of all, we can specify constant recipients, so these recipients will be added to all mail messages sent from mail sender. It won't be needed to specify them in the recipients of individual messages. Send copies of mail messages to myself means that all messages will also be sent to email address specified here in the main data. Total size limit for mail attachments. So it's clear what it means. Then we have such interesting functionality as auto upload to cloud drives. First of all, we can select which cloud drive we want to use to upload files attached to mail message, and then file size limit. Say if total size of files attached to mail message exceed this number in megabytes, then the system will automatically upload those files to the cloud drive and then insert download link to that files. Here we can select auto upload path. It will be a folder inside your cloud drive, and links header, something like this. please find download links below, like that. Or you can find. To make this feature working, you have to go to integrations, find cloud drives, and implement establish connection to cloud drive which you have selected in the mail sender settings. So checkbox for corresponding cloud drive must be here to make this feature working. Alright, then you can open your list of mail messages here, mail sender, or press Alt+1. But before doing this, there is also one place in the application which I want to show. It will be under reference data, message templates. Message templates contains predefined texts which you can insert into your mail messages. By default, application contains a number of default built-in message templates. You can open some of them and view them. What's interesting that UI of message template is almost identical to UI of mail message. We use the same editor here, but we can specify name of the message template, subject, default email addresses to include as a copy by default, and parameter use as default for. It will be covered in the notifications tutorial. Request read notification, disabled also applies to notifications. Some notes for a template, and the text. Short text also has effect only when used in the notification system. Alright, so let's go to email tab and let's create an empty mail message like that. And you can see that default email account was selected here. We can change it as if needed to non-default one. Date, some subject. Send. A checkbox will be selected automatically when we click send button, but we can do that manually as well if needed. Request read notification, we can check this box, or when we apply a template, this checkbox will be filled with the data from a template. And a text. Text editor supports formatting, default formatting. It's HTML editor. We can type manually something here. We can use default formatting, default keyboard shortcuts supported here. For example, I'm clicking Ctrl B, I, U to underline, make it bold. We can change formats or text colors, etc. We can insert tables, insert images, emoticons, lists, or like use default functionality which we always use in such types of editors. One interesting functionality here is variables. In the message text we can use different variables, and if I click here we get list with nested items, a long list of variables supported in the mail messages. For example, if I insert some variable like translation assignment number, for example, we get this type of notation like curly brackets and variable name inside them. When application will be sending mail message, this variable must be replaced with some real information from some assignment, and how the system knows from which assignment to take this data. For this we have linked documents tab here, and if I will switch to this tab, you will find that we can select some linked client, vendor, quote, translation project, and translation assignment. And if, for example, I will select some assignment with some number, you can see it here, like ASGN 114 at the end. And if I will switch to message, and on the toolbar we have preview button, and if I click on that, recipient must be added. Let's switch to recipients tab, and here we have to add a recipient. It can be done manually by clicking add, or I can use one of these two buttons on the toolbar, like add recipient from vendor list or from client contact list. Let's say it will be vendor list. Let's select some vendor. Sorry, this one does not have email address. This one. And now if I will click preview, you can see that our variable was replaced by some assignment number. Since we're talking about recipients, if I will click this button again, for example, add recipients from client contact list, I can do this. I can select one recipient here, contact, or hold shift button and select multiple, or control button on the keyboard to select as many contacts as I need, and then when I click OK, we get multiple recipients. When I click send, application will send separate mail message to each of these recipients. And if you want to send only one message to all of them, you have to provide email addresses in the copy field, like open this recipient and comma separated list of email addresses can be inserted here. Then we will have a single message. Now, if I will click preview, let's do that. Let's go to message text and type something like hello, insert variable, recipient, first name. And now we have this variable here, and we have a number of recipients with different first names. And now let's click preview, and you can see that application generated a number of multiple messages to preview. And first message says hello D vendor, another one hello Kevin, hello Richard. So for each of messages it inserted correct value for variable which we have inserted in the text. So this is how it works, and if you want to send a message, you click send. Since I have fake email addresses, I won't be doing that, but when you click send, for example, let's leave my personal email address and click send, and you will see results. And before that we saw the dialog displaying that application is sending a message. On the files tab we have default mail, default file manager, where we can attach files. For example, if I will drag some file here and click send, then this file will be attached to a message and the recipient will get this file. And now let me open the message, and you can see that here is our README file. For the next example, let's try to test Cloud Drive auto uploading. Let me drag and drop some larger file here. It takes 10 megabytes. And let's go to message and insert special variable here. Insert variable links to file uploaded to cloud. File links. So if you plan to use this functionality, it is required to use this variable in your message. Now let me save the text, and let's go to settings. On the integrations, you see that we have connection to OneDrive established. Okay, and let's go to mail sender settings and let's select Microsoft OneDrive here, file size limit is okay, and links header. Links to files for download. And let's save it. Let's go to my email and let's return to mail message. Recipients is correct. Files, we have a file. And let's try to send a message. Here we have loading dialog. It took a bit more time to send the message. And let me again drag another browser with mail account, open mail message, and you can see that now we have links to files for download. README file is still attached here, and if I click on the link, I will go to OneDrive. It's in Russian language, and we see that the file can be downloaded to my computer. I click OK, and if to open the file, you see that it was successfully downloaded, and I can open PDF file and view its contents. So here is how it works. Now let me just demonstrate a few examples how to create mail messages from TBM, from different places of the application, and I suppose it will be last what I wanted to demonstrate. So, for example, from where we can create messages. First example could be vendor list. We can open list of vendors, do some search, then select multiple vendors, and then click create a message to vendors. Then we can select some message template which we want to use. For example, let's say it will be a new job offer, something like that. Click OK, and we get a new message with inserted template with all the recipients I have selected in the list of vendors. That's all. So, and now I can preview from here like that, or click send to send mail messages. Also, mail messages can be created, for example, from invoices. If we go to list of invoices, find some invoice which is overdue, we can create a message to clients. And here is another example. This time we get a pop-up dialog, but it contains not a message itself, but message creation results. And if we have selected multiple invoices, we could get multiple messages here, and we can then preview each individual message from this screen, view this message to change some text, or send individual message, or send all. Let's say if I select 2 invoices, message to clients gets disabled. So if I go to jobs, for example, select multiple jobs, also message to PM button is disabled, but again I can create a message from here as well and get mail message from translation job. If, for example, we want to ask customer about something. Also, if I will go to assignments, open some assignment, go to assignment candidates and click add candidates, select few of them, click OK. Now I have 3 candidates here. Then I can select 3 candidates and click create availability requests. I don't want to attach any files. And here is message creation window again. Now we have 3 messages here. We can view each of them, preview each of them, and send all to send all messages or send individual messages again. So a lot of places from where you can create messages. This is how it looks like. So now I think it will be much easier for you to start working with built-in mail sender, to configure it and to use all the functionality which we have in TBM in the mail sender. So thank you for watching and see you on next videos. Bye bye.